Creating success amid chaos is a form of art, and for most creative, it is where their best work is born. Welcome to the KSS, where we explore the success of creative chaos and finding success. And I am your host, Christabel Urete. Today, we have 4 amazing and interesting creatives with us right here at the KSS. And you may be wondering why I'm using the word amazing. It is because they've been able to go around all the uncertainties in the world and turn them into opportunities. And with the whole shake away we see for the country right now, it's super amazing to see people still thriving in the current situation. So stay tuned for more insights and inspirations, and I'll be back right after this break. Starting from the person on my left.
Hi everyone, my name is Derek Weke, also known as Notorious. I'm a photographer and visual artist.
Alright, hi everyone, my name is Eugene Namale. I'm a videographer and motion designer. I work in the OBX team and I'm happy to be here.
My name is Wenke Franklin, also known as That Design Pro. I'm a brand and product designer.
That's
I'm so humble.
Keeping you humble.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Ikeme, and I'm the HOD of the SOS department, a brand new studio based in Nigeria. And I'm also a brand designer working with OBX. Happy to be here.
It's so nice to meet each and every one of you. So when I was informed that I was going to be doing this with you guys, I had to stalk your pages for a while, and I have to say that I am impressed with everything that I saw on there. So I have so many questions for you guys, and I'm curious. So I'm going to start from somewhere, right? So the first question I have for you is based on the speculations that has been going on about how being a creative in Enugu State, you cannot succeed as a creative here. So I want to ask, how has being a creative in Enugu State influenced your work? Do you think that Enugu State has hindered you? Do you think it has worked for you? Like, how far has it all come together as a creative here in Enugu State? So I don't know who to start with, but I think I'll start with you.
Let me say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
It's not that deep.
It's very deep.
First of all, creativity is universal, and the ability to create is not based on the location that you are. But Enugu has some way helped me, because in the sense, I would say my mindset changed when I came to Enugu. I will not say where I was staying before. Let it not be like I'm truly where I was before. But I was in an environment that the ability to grow was very slow. Like people that I was surrounded by, once I look at them and hear things they say, I am discouraged, because I know that I want more than this. I want to go further than this. But the people that are with me, people that are around me, my friends, I'm not saying that my friends are bad, but they were not like pushing me to want to do more or to do better. So I decided to try somewhere else, and Enugu was the place of choice. And you can see our brothers that are here now. They are doing good for themselves.
So it's safe to say that Enugu pushed you to
Yeah,
do
they
better.
pushed me. They pushed me to do better.
Okay, so I'd like to comment. Mine might be like a contrary opinion to what he's saying. So I'm not very peculiar about or specific about the environment per se. I think it's more of the people that you find in that space. For instance, I would speak of Genesis community that we have here. So the individuals that you find within the space, that's what really matters. But Enugu as a place, not so much, but the people in Enugu really set the stage of what the standard for being the best of the best is.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it's a thought that came to my head this morning. Like I thought about it. Enugu does not deserve Enugu's people. Yeah, I don't think that. I don't think that makes sense. Yeah, like because it's just a lot of people who are doing a lot of things and then are doing it at a very high level. But like it's almost as if the environment doesn't want them to do these things.
Yeah.
So like it's still in the same line with what they say though. It's like with me now, I can only speak for myself here. I've managed to like find myself like in a very, very good circle of people who push and motivate me. But like sometimes you just look at it and then you're like, nah, this place, actually won't serve me. That's how I see it.
I also feel like Enugu doesn't give back the creatives here the opportunities they deserve. In the sense that like, well, I'd go with like, what's this like a general problem in the sense of like pay-wise, Enugu doesn't give back to like these creatives that are here. I don't think Enugu pays the creatives that are here what they deserve. It's just measly. I mean, like there are people that do pay well and all of that, but at the same time, they don't give back the opportunities we deserve.
Yeah.
And a good example is if you find a videographer of my friend's quality here in Lagos, you pay through your nose for like you pay. That's like
Paying
the
for your
honesty.
nose,
And
yeah.
then someone else in Enugu would like try to hire him, and then they'll be undercharging and will be like, "Is it not negotiable? Is that your last price?" And like all of that.
Or
So
they say, is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Enugu?
Okay,
Is it not in the
I
east?
think
Is it the east?
I think Studios actually made the best point as well said because I don't know where you work, right?
Yeah.
I don't know everything you do, but if you check it now, like everybody who I think almost everybody who you've invited on this platform
Yeah.
work for clients, work mostly for clients outside
That
of
are not
Enugu.
in Enugu.
Yeah, do you understand? Yeah, so they can't really tell the Enugu story. Do you understand? If like if their how level is like a huge percentage of their clients base is not in Enugu. Do you
Yeah.
understand? Yeah. So he actually made a very good point because it's actually very hard to find like good paying jobs in Enugu. Yeah, let's go there. It's actually very
Well, I
difficult.
totally understand your point, and I'm really, really hoping that it gets better from here moving forward.
Yeah.
So I want to know, there's this thing about successful people and having a routine and all of that stuff, right? So how do you have like a specific ritual or a habit that you do like every day before you go about your day, before you like get into work or do anything? Like, is there something you do that I have to do this every day before I go about my day?
Okay. So I love routines, but at the same time I hate them. So it's a gift and a curse, to be honest. So a creative would want a predictable nature of how things work. I'm speaking subjectively for me.
Yeah.
I want this to be predictable. So I move with a routine for a month or two. But next minute, things are going to look a little bit bland to me. So I need to switch things up. So my routine, yes, I have a routine, but it switches up from time to time. So it typically looks like waking up. I was about to say waking up and I realized I don't sleep so much.
You have to sleep to wake up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I sleep to wake up. So let's assume in this case that I
Yeah.
sleep and then I wake up 5:30 every day in the morning. So 5:30, wake up, not using my phone because easy dopamine, I'm not in support of that. Probably read a book within the first few hours.
You
of,
read. Wow.
That's actually very impressive.
Yeah, so
Damn.
read and devotion, of course. I'm a
Even
believer.
devotion too.
Yes,
What?
now.
This guy is a spec.
You church boy.
So
very
yeah, after that, I probably would have planned my day the previous night. So once I wake up, I already know what I'm supposed to do for the day. So when that is done, meetings between 9 to like 10, 11. I don't like long meetings, so keep it brief within 9 to 10 or 11. Then I have the entire day to myself till like 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. when I know my brain is not exactly functioning well till like the end of the day. And wrap up. Yeah, the gym by 4 p.m. every day. I don't miss it.
Gym bro.
This guy has
No,
life,
no,
man.
no, don't worry.
What's your routine like?
Okay. Would I say I don't have any specific routine. I just believe that if I
Except
sleep
making
well,
money.
I know that if I sleep well, I'll wake up productive. I already know that if I start saying I'll do this first, I'll do this second, most of the time it doesn't fall in line. So once I just get a good night's sleep or good afternoon sleep, or anytime I wake up, I just know that okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is the project I'm going to work on. Then once I'm done with my tons of meeting, because I know that every second of the day I'm always in a meeting. Every time I'm always in a meeting, then the whole once in a while we go to the gym. We come back, we keep on working. It doesn't end like that. It doesn't stop like that. Like the circle goes on.
Yeah.
But there's no like specific routine. I'll say I follow this and do this and do this. The only time I do that is when I get like tons of work to do. I can be like, okay, I'll start with this project first, then jump to the next one. That's what I just do. That's the only thing. Yeah.
So do you have a
Yeah.
routine?
So like if you're watching this, please like listen to this other guys. Don't listen. I don't have a routine. I don't have. It's a very bad habit. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah. I don't have any ritual or any of those things. I rely on energy. Right. Yeah. I have bursts of like when I have the vibe to work, I'm very energetic about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come. It's not something you can rely on because like you just have like large pockets of time when you're not doing anything. Yeah. But I rely on those bursts of energy. So sometimes it could be like maybe after this show now, I can go home and then have like I'll work all night. Do you understand? And today is like let's tomorrow from tomorrow I'll probably won't work again until next 2 days. and then I work and that all night again. So
I wish I was
it's
you.
it's not healthy, and it makes you to be very inconsistent with working.
Yeah.
But so far, like we thank God, like yeah.
Well, I think I have a follow-up question, just
Yeah.
out of curiosity.
Okay.
So, would you rather choose time-based, like when you are working,
Yeah.
you attribute your work and your productivity to time, or attribute it more to like energy? So let's assume your energy level is high within 9 to 10,
Yeah.
and you do all the work you can that day, and then you're done for the day. Or you have the liberty to have like 7 to 2 p.m. to work. Which one would you go for?
Sorry, I don't think I understand.
So I'm giving two cases now,
Yeah.
right? So if you are supposed to choose one for the rest of your life,
Yeah.
a system to work with,
I won't
so
choose that.
so a time-based situation
Yeah.
or an energy-based situation, which will be your best?
The time-based situation.
Why?
Energy is inconsistent. You can't rely on it.
Hmm.
Do you understand? Yeah, you can't, because sometimes like as a video editor, like it can be very, very difficult for you to get into the flow of work.
And sometimes
right?
you get burnt out.
Yeah, and then sometimes you actually find out that you have to push through that, like that burnout.
Yeah.
And if you rely more on time more than energy, you find out that like it actually helps you with discipline.
Yeah. And when you are working with time, you know that your mind always tells you that by this time I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
yeah,
that
yeah.
energy even comes, even when you don't want to do it.
I mean, like, it helps you to know when you're slacking and when you're not.
So then, if we've not heard from you, do you have a routine or a habit or?
I think the only thing I mostly do is just plan my day ahead, because I usually don't have like enough hours during the day. I work all night half the time. So like I have like maybe like 8 to like 6 hours to like do whatever I need to do during the day. So if I don't plan my day ahead, it just like messes up like the rest of the week for me, or like the rest of the days.
Okay.
Wow.
So there's a saying that body no be firewood. And as creatives, right, I know that it can be very, very exhausting.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, have you ever reached your breaking point? Like, you don't tire, you say you don't tire, like, I'm done. Have you ever reached your breaking point?
Yes, and now we go.
What, what happened and how did you come out of it? How did you decide that, okay,
take
I
this
think
question
this is
first.
the life I chose?
I think Frank is the best person.
Practice.
Just go for it.
Okay. Once I feel like I've reached that breaking point, there's this my favorite line from a movie, that's Rocky Balboa. He said something in the line of it's not how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep on moving forward. You get? So
Real.
I know that once I reach that my breaking point, I remember where I am, and I also remember where I was. I look at myself and be like, okay, where was I 2 years ago? Where was I 3 years ago? And even if I want to stop this work, even if I don't want to move forward, sometimes I'll be like, is it laptop I'll keep on pressing? Is it laptop that will bring me? Is it laptop that will bring money for marriage?
Yeah.
Is it laptop that will build me houses? But I look back and looked at and say that, okay, what I do is what is putting food on my table and people around me.
Sure.
So once that thought comes to mind, I just be like, yeah, I'll break down, but at the end of the day, I still stand up and get the work done.
Yeah.
So that's it from my end. Yeah.
So,
I think in most situations when that's what's the word, that breaking point, when I get to that point, I let myself just break down as much as possible.
Exactly.
Because it's like I can't go against nature. I'm not a machine. So I have to break down to come back up. So in those situations, I log out of every single thing, take some time. Yes, it might sound very unrealistic when you know you're working with clients and all that. But I think at every point in time, I do well to like communicate to these people that, okay, this is going on right now as much as possible. Probably I keep it vague. And then give myself time to like reset, because I can only do the best work if I'm my best self.
how do your clients react to you telling them that you want to take a break?
Well, I probably, maybe because of my personality and how I engage the clients right from day one, they understand what I'm going through. So
I think this will work more for freelancers than people that have a 9 to 5
9
job.
to 9 to 5. I think 9 to 5. I do the same with 9 to 5.
You tell them that you can't deliver.
I can't
at this time.
deliver. Everybody will be
It's also
fine.
worse in 9 to 5, because first things first, like, okay, I think how I handle all this is that I actually let it happen, right? So I have, without sharing too much, right? Yeah, sometime in 2000 and I won't say 15, 14. I think ending 2014, I had a problem. with, I think it's I had a problem with my parents, and it was actually very traumatic to me, right?
Yeah.
But I remember that like 2 months later, everybody was fine. Do you understand? So like every time something is going bad in my life, every time something is going bad in my life, I just try to like, I remember those moments. I'll be like, okay,
There's no time was like this.
this like in the next 2 months,
To be better.
everything, like I won't be worrying about this thing.
Better days ahead.
I'm worrying about some that thing. So it actually helps a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whether you're with your clients or whether you're with your 9 to 5 employers, it's, you just know that like, as far as like, you know, before this time you've been at your best behavior.
True.
You understand? Yeah. Anything that really wants to happen should happen.
That's why we have. That's why we have leave.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
also
Derek,
leave, yeah.
Have you ever like had a breakdown?
I mean, everybody has a breakdown, but like mostly for me, I go through the breakdown and then I still like continue working through it, because at the end of the day, if you're not getting paid, you're going to break down even further. whatever it is you think you're seeing.
So you don't even rest at all. Like, let me just breathe.
I treat myself to like things that make me feel better.
That was.
Okay, we all handle life differently.
Grind, don't stop.
I want to
grinding.
talk about the book Still Like an Artist, where the author of the book said that, advised rather, that people should copy from people that they look up to and like replicate their works. So, you know, how he said it, there are people that will always do otherwise, like differently from what he said. So I want to ask, how do you feel about people who completely copy and replicate your work, like verbatim? As they say I'm A, they will copy I'm A.
Well, I think it's truly an honor for them to copy me, because it actually
Yes.
it actually means I'm up there
So
for
you
it.
don't have an issue like when
No, I don't.
So first, there's this saying, is it imitation is a great form of flattery or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when someone actually like imitates, so I'm someone that I recognize work. Do you understand? So and I copy too. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, there's nobody that doesn't.
So when somebody actually sets up their camera or brings up their laptop and starts editing or shooting the way I shoot or anything, that person putting work
You
there.
know that you have created
Do
the
you understand?
standard.
Yes,
Yeah.
that person
and you don't have like issues with the brands that you've worked for, like, oh, what if this brand sees this design and think I'm the one who copied from them? How do you handle it?
So I
No.
don't think necessarily. So when it comes to copying, right, whether you like it or not, subconsciously your own personality goes into design, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So it could be from a videographer's point of view, it could be the way the story was told, but it looks the same, right? But the story is different. From a designer, probably I work with colors a different way, or maybe I talk about my design in a particular way. Nobody can do it as much as I
you
do
can
it,
do,
right?
yeah.
But you can tell, oh, this guy got
Copy.
inspiration from
Yeah.
this, or literally just stole it like a thief.
They can't be like the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like
you
the
can't
original.
completely.
Even like no matter what, so even if it's bar for bar, whatever. Yeah, I like you said. No, I think it's just there are just some things you put into your work
Yeah,
that
subconsciously.
that makes it stand out.
Yeah.
But the
when
only
like
the only
something-
problem I have with people that copy, I don't have an issue, because I know if I go to Pinterest today, tons of my designs are everywhere that I didn't even put up there.
That's
Yeah.
But
amazing.
it's not an issue to me. But the problem I have now is the company those guys are working for. They are like pushing this company to the mud. Imagine, I'm not going to start calling. There was a very big brand that most of us know that saw a design that the designer just brought a design that I did and just replicated the exact same thing. If you wanted to drag this company, you have enough evidence. It will mean that this company didn't take their time to employ a competent designer to look at, to go through the person's portfolio, see what if the person is an original designer. It's good, but sometimes, like you said, copy like a thief. If you copy, sometimes try and give
As attributes.
yes,
that-
can give
yeah.
attributes, can give them the real, say, oh, I got this idea from here. But it's nice to copy, because once it's from copying consistently that you learn better.
But do you have an issue if they give credit or not?
No, if
don't
it's like that, do you know how many people?
Well, it depends. I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
Do
true.
you know how many people I would have given credit to myself.
No, it depends.
Okay,
It
so
depends.
at the beginning of the show, I said something. I said when they told me I was going to be seated with you guys, I stalked your Instagram pages for a while, right? It's safe to call me a stalker. I don't mind. So, from looking at your pages, it's safe to say that you guys know your onions. You know it very well. Like you guys are good at your game, which means that una be hot cake. They rush una now.
I never hot like that.
I don't know what that is, but for the sake of this conversation, let's agree.
It means you
Let's
guys
agree that we are
have tons of jobs. Like your table is full where like it looks green.
Let my employer not hear this one.
For this
So now your table is full because even when you came, some people were still walking in the process. I'm like, these guys are hot. Oh.
No, you just wanted to
Okay,
check
so
if
I want
it
to
is better.
ask, when you have multiple jobs and multiple deadlines, right?
Yeah.
How do you manage your time and energy? Like, how are you able to do this? How are you able to, like, how do you know which one to do first, which one to do last? How do you prioritize them?
I think Derek has.
Yeah, there you
Okay, you're the hottest of the hottest.
Yeah.
Well, personally, sometimes I work better under pressure. It's something.
You're very, very different. You're
Some of
very,
us have
very
that.
different.
I'm like that in a
Some
way.
people wait for deadlines.
Deadline is BS motivator.
Yes.
I'm being very honest. I would most likely, work on your project faster if like I know it's like 2 days left.
So if I check your CV now and I see like, can you work under pressure? Like I'll just see yes.
I mean,
Normal.
That's like the headline.
That's the
Pressure cooker.
But like mostly, I mean like in situations where like I'm not trying to like work under pressure, I try to like do the most important to like the least important. So like let's say like let's say like I shot like a couple of birthday pictures and like someone has a birthday tomorrow and like Father Days and that. I'll most likely start from the person that has their birthday tomorrow and then like walk my way through that.
Okay. Okay, so I want to ask, right? I really want to know. You know that in every niche and every industry, there are pros and cons, right? So now my question is this. What is your dislike for the creative industry that people don't talk about enough? Like, waiting with that thing where they do, where they vex you, where they know they talk about?
My own will be very quick. I will not say it's
I get
Straight to the
list.
point.
no,
I get list.
but you get one.
Okay.
You see, those people that used to create courses. Course creators,
Masterclass.
masterclass.
30
beginner.
days.
You say a beginner
Look
is
at the camera and tell
creating a
them
30 days masterclass.
Eh?
Those people. And when you talk to them and you try to speak to them about that, the class is not as comprehensive, they say, according to design principles. What are you breaking down for me? Which design principles again? You just started design 6 months ago and you're doing masterclass. That is, people don't. I know, but
And
you can't
people are very
explain it.
gullible, so
Yeah, yeah.
we'll just have to-
I think that's also like I want to make a video on it, like to post on my Instagram. I'm going to make a video on it. But let me just say
Content.
what I have to say about.
Please make sure the video is aggressive.
Yeah,
Drag them.
trust me. Yeah.
That's good.
Call
So,
names.
so it's so first things first, like you see this one. This is the example I'm about to give more in your field, UI and graphic design.
Yeah.
A badly designed graphic poster, telling you to come and learn graphic design.
Hey,
I was like,
that one is deep. That one. Hey.
yeah, okay, and then it's I don't know. It feels like scam to me. You understand?
It's
Yeah,
because
No,
it's
that is
scam.
yeah.
It's scam.
It feels like scam. So and then when you actually say, okay, let me actually check out these courses, you see that it's just things that
You already know.
surface level design
Yeah.
or videography or photography even that you can just see on YouTube. Like you can just type photography 101 on YouTube and you're seeing what this person is paying you to do. And then so it's actually very crazy, yeah. So it's I'm on the same boat.
I also have a theory on it. I feel like people that are doing exceptionally well, they don't have time to teach you.
Yeah.
They don't have time.
Some people have.
I feel like they don't necessarily have the time to
Yeah.
like, start putting out
I,
flyers.
I think it's a two-way thing, right? There's this fairy tale, should I say, story that they say about, should I say, people that have made it or creatives, that, go into photography. No, let us use Web3. Go into
It was a
Web3.
pandemic.
Yes.
Go into
Still a
Web.
pandemic.
They still a pandemic. We came back now. Say it's we are in the bull run now.
Yes, nice.
So they said, go into Web3, you will make it. But
I still don't know what it means.
the reality is that you need to put blood, sweat, tears,
Into-
intentionality into this thing to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
But people sell you a fairy tale on social media, and everybody jumps into it. And you're jumping into it, and you're assuming that okay, within first year you are good, or within second year you are good. Yeah, everybody's just focusing on the success stories, and they're forgetting to ask about okay, how did this person
Failure
get to this
story.
particular
Yeah.
point?
Definitely.
Everybody's obsessing over the glory, right? I now see half-baked people doing master
Masterclass.
classes, and they are cooking other half-baked people, and the population is increasing.
Yeah.
And then in the case of what the point that you made, right? that the best of the best, they don't have time. Imagine a situation where you meet someone that wants to learn how to be, should I say, Web3 designer or a product designer or the best of the best photographer and wants to do it in 1 year. How is that possible? That's not realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
It's
So I
not
want
just
to ask, with how good your jobs look on your page, are people not in your DM clamoring to know how? Please, can you teach me? When are you going to hold a class? Like, how do you direct them to somebody else?
So like that's
Because
where,
it feels
that's,
like
that's
people don't
where-
have a lot
that's
of
where-
faith in
that's
people
where,
that teach online.
That's where assignments actually come in. most times, it's some. I've been in those shoes here. You meet somebody, hey, I want to learn this. I want to be like this. I want to be like this, and then someone tells you, okay, see this course or see this video, watch it, and then get back to me. That will be the last interaction. You will have a person in your life.
So you don't have
You
any
understand?
mentees, like
Me? No,
People that look
no,
up to
no,
you.
me, I'm still beginner.
I would say-
You've been hyping me since.
so if you're still a beginner, what do we call somebody that is just?
No, there's
There's
If we
more.
call you a beginner, what do we call people that?
Me,
you can
in
call
my-
anyone.
You're trying to be humble, I guess.
It's too humble. In my DMs, I have lots of messages about people that want to learn. Most of the
Okay.
time, I have people that are my mentors, people that still brought out time to make courses. Since I've not done my own, I have not had time to do. It's not that there's no one in the making or anything. I'll just say that I'm planning mine, but go to this person and look at what he's doing.
But if you had the time to teach, would you rather teach online or hold like a physical class?
I've taught physically before, but online I've not really. Physically, people can see what you are doing, and people like to learn directly. What they learn from this thing, like a real meetup, is they learn faster than learning online. That's what people say. But me, everything I learned was online. Nobody actually came and
Yeah.
The
sat me
graduates
down.
of
Yeah.
YouTube Academy.
YouTube,
Okay.
thank you very much.
So I want to say that a lot of people think that it's better to be like a jack of all trades and like don't just settle for one thing. Don't be a master of just one thing, right? So what's your take on people niching down? Do you think that it's better to master just one thing or it's better to be everywhere, like just anywhere you see head, anywhere you see
okay.
head,
I have something to
that
say,
kind
but
of thing.
okay, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I want to go.
Yeah,
I
go.
think you need mastery over one thing, and then you can diversify.
Yeah.
Because like in the end, if you don't gain mastery in one thing, at the end you're just going to be flying. You're just going to be moving like a pendulum, back and forth, back and forth. So like you're here today, you're here today, you're here today, you're
But
here
you
tomorrow.
know that people change interest with time, especially in this creative. You can wake up today and you're feeling like, I think UI UX is what I want to do. And then tomorrow you wake up, I want to become a photographer.
I also feel like you also need to have that one thing that you know that if they wake you up from sleep tomorrow,
You can talk
do
about
it.
it, you can do it.
Yeah, like if they like tap you, how far, come and take this picture. You pick up the camera and go. You also need that thing too.
So I think when people make that statement, they assume that you just have to, maybe you have many interests and they are thriving in the same way. But I think Christo kind of explained it very well, and I kind of like found a way to personalize my own philosophy around it. So it's like you need to find one thing and put all your effort into it. Think about the 100% rule. So if you are putting 50% effort into A and 50% into B, which is another interest, they will not move at the same scale. But if you channel 100% into one within a particular time period, you will reap the fruits faster and better, right? But the hack here for me is mastery and depth. So how well do you know this particular concept and how much have you explored before you go into something else? For instance, myself, I have lots of interests. Probably because I get bored easily with things, so I explore a lot of things. So photography, for instance, I don't take pictures commercially, but I understand photography very well, right? And I can take great pictures if I do say so myself. And design, for instance, which is something that I do more of right now, I have been designing for quite a while, maybe not as long as Frank, but but I've been designing for quite a while, and I have depth in that field, right? And over time, I'm transitioning into brand management and all those, should I say, managerial positions. And it's like a learning curve already. I have design on lock, and I'm sure that the results are coming there, and I'm channeling my energy into something else to make sure that I achieve mastery in that end. But people don't talk about that. They just assume that I need to, because I want to do this, I should do this. And another thing that probably I'm talking about, but another thing that I finally say to close off is give your chance to. Most people don't give themselves the chance to explore, because product design and because Web3 is the thing going on doesn't necessarily mean that's what you're supposed to be doing. Probably you should be a farmer and you thrive there. No, I make that joke a lot, but some people are going to be really good at farming, but because everybody's all about get that tech skill. What now happens? Who is going to feed the people that are doing the tech?
Everybody's not that creative.
talking about Web3 is currently a trend, right?
Yeah.
So I want to ask now, as creatives in your industry, or should I say in your niche, I want to ask, do you think people should stick to trends or stick to originality?
So stick to what works for you.
No, generally, I would say that.
Let me come back. There was a question. The question you asked before this question about what's our biggest problem with the creative industry. So I think it falls back to this place now, right? So I think my biggest problem with the creative industry is the need, the desire from everybody. Everybody wants progress, right?
Yeah.
And we are forgetting that all of us here now is a photographer, videographer to designers, right? We are forgetting that it's art. Now we don't really pay attention to the art anymore now. So I would say that data and numbers have actually come to actually spoil things now, and trends too. So you see people now, right? They don't have any motivation to create. Yeah, let me just use motivation. They don't have any motivation to create. What their only motivation to create is so that they can trend or so that they can do high numbers. That's where you see a brand. I'm not trying to criticize anybody, but like you can see a brand and then they will find the trending music and start doing dance challenges, and then
how does that add to your brand?
So it's sometimes like, I'm not judging. I know I've actually told someone to do this for their brand, but like it's me playing the game. Do you understand? It's me playing the game. But like, I believe that the game has actually ruined the art part of the creative thing now. And that example is there are some friends of mine who go on content creation challenges. Do you understand? And when you see, like, the whole day, post a day thing, and most times the reason why you do that is to challenge yourself, maybe to get better at what you do, or you want to maybe get followers, because there's no way you post for 30 days in a row without getting followers. But sometimes they compromise quality for quantity. Do you understand? So it's still on that whole jumping a trends thing, and then it took away from the arts.
I just feel that even if you are trying to stay original, once in a while you should jump on trends.
I agree.
Because if you don't jump on these trends, they'll be like, these people are not up to date. These people don't know what is happening. Yes, you also need visibility.
I think I disagree.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Ask.
I did not want to break the flow because you were going to say something else. The question I'm asking is sort of going to break where you are. So how do you guys get books related to your fields? Do you read a lot about your field, about design, about videography, or you just use YouTube?
Mine is more of experience working on actual projects. I read once in a while. I read stuff from Medium, but not books a lot. If you are talking about books.
So I think I know a lot about a lot of things that I'm not using. It's because I read a lot. So design books, I normally go on Amazon and I have a couple of vendors that I ask, because some people might have like thrift books that they want to like resell, so you just have to keep your eyes out there for them. But I'm a firm believer that you can only get so much from, should I say, visual, like videos, right?
Yeah.
Primarily because people are also going to tell you their perception about that, right? So they read a book, they have a perception about it, and then they regurgitate it and let you know and share with you in their own experience. But it's very important that you find the author and read it and make sense out of it. So that's why I prioritize books.
Okay, so does anybody want to add?
No, they don't.
I'm not. I'm honestly a book reader, but I try to how do I put it? Just basically, like, I have creators I look up to, right? I have people in the industry I look up to, yeah. So sometimes I try to emulate what they do. Sometimes, and then I also like have professionals, like, the people who are good at the technical parts of it. Like, for instance, now there's a guy I follow on color grading now. So the guy doesn't give you color grading tips based on his own like things that he thinks are fine. What he just tells you is that okay, if you put red here, you put blue here, it's turned into purple. Do you understand? So it's left to you to, it's left to you to actually
Make sense out of it.
It's left to you to actually make sense out of it. He just teaches you the how to.
Yeah, I think that's what you're doing is indirect mentorship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that which is something that most people don't recognize. They just feel like if the whole mentorship thing has to be like, I find somebody, I'll follow that person.
You tell me what to do.
But you have the internet. You have
internet
is an amazing place.
I think photography-wise, I don't think a lot of photographers read. No offense to anybody, but like this is just my own opinion. I feel like photography-wise.
Once they say no offense.
But do you think are there books for photography?
I mean, there are like books for everything, but I think photography-wise, you have to like practice, and then see practically. Because like, if you read the book, you still have to go out there and then
do the actual work.
Yeah, like know what it's like. So I feel like photography is like is mostly practical than actually reading.
And I think just to close off, in all this, you can get all the knowledge that you have, but if you don't prioritize the act of doing, all the knowledge that you have,
it's all a waste of time. It's one thing to hear and another thing to do. So there are two types of people. We have the early birds and we have the night crawlers. Okay.
See, let me answer for everybody.
Wait, let me learn. So, morning or night, when are you most productive? Or let me judge. I want to judge before you answer. Okay.
Let me take off my glasses just in case.
I'm going to start
just in case.
Okay, so from the answers you've been giving, I'll say you're more productive at night because somebody that waits for 2 days before he delivers a job, he has to be in the night. You don't need to sleep. Give or take night. I get that.
I know you before.
It's very early in the morning for me.
Okay.
Or late at like between 3 to 11.
Okay. So I'll say give or take again. I'll say day.
Day? No. No, I would say both. Like it's during that mid like afternoon. I don't work in the afternoon. I hardly work in the afternoon. It's mostly in the morning or in the night because I've done tons of 9 to 5. So you have to be agile in the mornings. You have to be more creative in the morning for you to be able to like deliver good work. So I can't say that it's only at night I do my best work. It means that the work I deliver for my 9 to 5 is like a stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
So let me judge.
Yes, after 12 p.m. sleep and everything, you just
let me judge the last person. So for someone that is routine changes every 2 months, you're in between, no?
Yeah, definitely.
I got it.
Yeah. And I think it really depends on what I'm working on, right? So I don't like meetings at night. So give me all the meetings.
Nobody like meetings.
I don't
like meetings at all, but I have to have them.
You could look like you don't turn on your cameras when the meeting is on. Just click the button and be like, okay, I'm with you, sir.
Let me share my screen.
And we are warming up by the
Let me see my screen.
Yeah, every morning.
Okay, so the next question I want to ask, I'm going to call it the software question. So I want us to talk about softwares.
Okay.
Please, I'm not a tech babe.
Yeah, that's why you say software.
Sorry.
It's fine, no problem.
I want to ask a question. So I was currently saying something about why beginners, like if you're starting out, you should have a 9 to 5. So from the conversation, do you think it's safe to say that if you're starting out as a creative, you should probably have a 9 to 5? Do you think it's safe to say so?
Well, I think it just depends on what you want to explore and what you feel like doing. There's no one route to go, right? Because I started off as a freelancer, and then I did 9 to 5. It's just there. Freelance is that you basically, so for like a 9 to 5 person, it's like your constraint is 9 to 5 and you stop working. As a freelancer, you have 24 hours. Basically, anybody can call you and you have to get work done. So it just depends on what you feel like doing. I will die on the hill that says that everybody has their own story.
Their own story, yeah.
9 to 5 can work for one person.
And
9 to 5 cannot work for another person. 9 to 5 might be working for me today and it's not work for me tomorrow. But it doesn't have to be like the standard.
Yeah, I also feel like 9 to 5 helped me a lot. But I've seen freelancers that are doing so well that they never worked with any company. They never did any 9 to 5 contract and they are doing so well without having to do this. But I just feel it's the way you structure your mind, because some people will do 9 to 5, and once they feel like, okay, this is time for me to leave, they'll be so afraid that if I leave today, will I be able to survive?
Yeah.
That's the fear. That's why people are always having that thing. Can I survive if I do 9 to 5? Will I be able to
That's
leave?
probably why she asked me.
That's the thing. So if you know that it is time, that you feel that, oh, this is not in your your 9 to 5 is not giving you, is not going towards the direction you want your career to go, and you know that it's time to leave, just stand up and say, okay, I'm done today. It is it. I'm going to transition. It's going to be bad.
Just
But you survive. That is not me. Take my advice at your own risk, but
it's just a suggestion.
it's just a suggestion. But just sometimes know when it's time, because there's how long you will stay. You will know that you have overstayed your welcome.
True.
Yeah, true.
There's a time people will leave. People will leave your company. People are growing. People that were your colleagues before has already built something for themselves. But you are still with that fear of, should I leave today? If I leave, will I still see money? If I just
embrace the possibilities.
Yes,
what if everything falls in place?
And what if it doesn't fall in place?
Yes.
Then you now start begging your boss to employ you back.